Tonight, Rudy Giuliani, Donald Trump's former lawyer, ordered to surrender his New York City apartment in just 7 days. And you can see it here thanks to Realtor.com. Wood-paneled library, intricate ceilings, wood-burning fireplace. These are things that New Yorkers know are really, really hard to get and find. Giuliani also has to turn over all the valuables inside his ritzy apartment, including TVs, furniture, jewelry, and a signed Joe DiMaggio jersey, which is actually hanging above the fireplace, as you can see from Realtor.com. Now, all of this now is about to belong to Ruby Freeman and Shaye Moss, the election workers that Giuliani falsely accused, of tampering with ballots, which led to threats like this.
Eat and die, you racist. You're done, you whore.
We're gonna burn your store down.
Now, a jury ruled Giuliani owes them around $150 million for spreading lies about them after the 2020 election. He said he didn't have the money, so now it's these assets. So let's go straight to Katelyn Polantz. She's live outside of the apartment Giuliani is now being forced to vacate. And Katelyn, you have done extensive reporting on Giuliani's financial problems. So as you're standing outside that apartment building right now, that apartment, I understand, is worth an estimated $6 million. And Ruby Freeman and Shaye Moss are going to be handed the keys in just days. So what then happens?
Yeah, Aaron, they're going to get control of this, but it's not the real estate that they're after here, even though this would be quite a nice place to live and had been in the past for the former mayor of New York. It is the money that they're after, Aaron. There is $150 million that is owed to these two women by Rudy Giuliani because he defamed them after the 2020 election. And so what is happening here is this apartment on one of the high floors in this building behind me, it's going to be handed over to the control of Ruby Freeman and Shaye Moss so they can sell it and take whatever they make from it in the millions, very likely. And then in addition to that, they're also going to be getting control of a whole host of luxury items that Rudy Giuliani owns. Things like a Mercedes once owned by Lauren Bacall, a Joe DiMaggio signed jersey, many, many watches, more than 24 luxury watches, including one that was a Rolex one that was given to Giuliani by the French president after 9/11 for his services here in this city as mayor. All of that is going to be given to them so they can sell it off and collect the money to begin to collect on the debt that Giuliani pays them. It is an order with some finality here in the federal court in New York because Giuliani hasn't done that much in court to fight this legally and has run out of a lot of appeal options to try and hold off them from getting this property. It took them about a year to get to this point. In 7 days, he's going to be turning over the property itself as well as all of the luxury items to them. But then there's more at stake. The judge is still going to have to decide about a condo in Palm Beach, as well as World Series rings from the Yankees that Giuliani has, 4 of them.
Right. Oh, well, it's really, I mean, it's an incredible moment to think about it again, the former mayor of New York. All right, Katelyn Polantz, thank you so much. I want to go now to Michael Gottlieb, the attorney for Ruby Freeman and Shaye Moss. So, Michael, what is your reaction? I mean, so all your clients have won this now in 7 days. They're going to have the keys to this apartment, and they've been awarded these other items as well. What do your clients think?
I mean, I think we're all thrilled by this ruling. This is a necessary step in achieving accountability for Ruby Freeman and Shaye Moss. A jury of Rudy Giuliani's peers found him liable for $146 million in damages for defaming our clients and terrorizing them in the aftermath of the 2020 election. And this is what accountability for that looks like. This is a necessary and key step in our clients' ability to start to recover some of what has been taken away from them by being appointed receivers of this property.
So let me just talk about some of these assets. The Mercedes once owned by Lauren Bacall that Katelyn Polantz was just reporting on, signed Joe DiMaggio Yankees jersey, collection of luxury watches, 26 of them, one given by the president of France after September 11th. So what do Ruby and Shaye plan to do with all these assets?
Well, I don't think they'll be wearing all the watches at the same time. They're going to sell this property. The property is, they've been appointed as receivers by the court. A receiver is a person that the court appoints to take charge and custody of property in order to sell it and maximize the value of those assets.
So
in
sort
order
of like
to-
an auction to see if they can, how much they can get. I mean, it's,
Yes.
Yeah.
They're vested with power to auction the property, to sell it
Mm-hmm.
privately, to use their discretion in order to turn this property into money to satisfy the $146+ million that Rudy Giuliani owes to them.
all right, so some of the assets are in dispute. Now, Rudy Giuliani is a lifelong diehard Yankees fan, right? So you've got the Joe DiMaggio signed jersey. But the World Series victories, he has 4 World Series rings and over the years. And obviously those could be worth, who knows what they're worth. To the right person, certainly priceless. So that's an incredible amount of money, potentially. His son, Andrew Giuliani, though, claims, there's a photo that he's put out, this photo right here, where he's with his father. He says this proof that his father gave the rings to him because he's standing there holding some of the rings. So how much are you going to fight this for that specific asset, or will you let that go? I mean, what are you going to do here?
We're going to fight for every dollar for our clients to satisfy this judgment, and we'll have an opportunity to test the claim that those rings were gifted to Mr. Giuliani's son. We'll have an opportunity to take discovery on that, and the court will have an opportunity to make its decision based on what the evidence shows about it. For all of this, what we're trying to do is use the legal process that's available to Ruby and Shay in the Southern District of New York to hold the former chief law enforcement officer for the Southern District of New York accountable for this debt that he owes to them.
So earlier this month, you talk about how so many families have gone through such sadness as a result of the political environment in this country. And Rudy Giuliani's family is among them. His daughter, Caroline, I was speaking with her. She said that she was going to vote for Kamala Harris because she believed that Trump took her father from her. And I talked to her actually about Ruby and Shay. And here's an exchange that I had with her about them.
Right now, the biggest threat to our country is Trump, so I think it's important to look at the culture that he has created and the way in which he has refused to accept that he lost the 2020 election and get everybody to compromise their values, do anything just to keep him in power, and attack citizens like Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss. Like, he's willing to hurt his own people just to have power, and Kamala Harris would never do that.
What do your clients think about, I don't know if they even know that Caroline has said this and that she's voting for Harris, but how does something like that impact them? I mean, they have gone through, obviously, incredible horror. We played some of the calls and the threats that they have received. But yet there's a sadness here, too. Other families, and so many, have been broken apart by this.
Yeah, I don't know if they know about that particular quote. What I'd say is that, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss are heroes. They made a courageous decision to stand up for themselves, to fight really the most powerful men in this country and in the world in order to achieve accountability for the harm that was done to them, but also to send a message to civil servants, to election workers, to citizens who are participating in our democracy, without whom our democracy could not function, that the justice system will hold bullies accountable for pulling people like this into these kinds of conspiracy theories and trying to scapegoat them for political gain. And today's ruling, I think, is an example of how the justice system, even though it may take some time and even though it may take resolve and the courage of people like Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, will hold powerful people to account for these kinds of wrongs.